On a sunny Saturday afternoon in East Setauket, New York, two of the best lacrosse teams in the state go head-to-head. It's the Chaminade Flyers traveling east to take on the Ward Melville Patriots. And it's next on News 12 Varsity. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Ward Melville High School. Matt Shortest with you today on News 12 Varsity. A great early season non-league showdown between two of the best perennial teams on Long Island, Chaminade and Ward Melville. Chaminade coming off a 12-6 victory over St. Anthony's, which puts them in the early lead for a Catholic League championship, with those two only meeting during the regular season. No postseason there. And Ward Melville, the defending Long Island Class A champs, they're picking up exactly where they left off. 4-0 to start the season, coming off an 11-5 victory over Riverhead. And when these two teams get together, it's always a fun one. Last year, it was Ward Melville at Chaminade defeating the Flyers by a goal. They had to hold on late, and they return a slew of players from that team. And Chaminade, early season, their defense has been near unstoppable and near unbeatable, and they are led defensively in the midfield by Frankie Tangretti. He had a fantastic game on Wednesday against St. Anthony's. He's a senior who's going to Harvard, and he gets in close and he can really close down the alleys, and he's going to have his hands full today because this Ward Melville attack, they run two lines of attacking units. They're led by Matt Grillo and Dylan Palinetti. Palinetti, the sophomore who was Suffolk County Rookie of the Year last year, he's off to an 11-goal, 4-assist start. He's coming off 4 goals and 2 assists versus Riverhead in the last game out. And as a sophomore, he's already committed to the University of Massachusetts. So Ward Melville, they've jumped out to an undefeated start to the season. Chaminade has won 2 straight. It's the Patriots and Flyers next on News 12 Varsity.
It's the reason we keep watching, because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all. The face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Welcome back to Ward Melville High School. Matt Shortest, Tom Schnars, and Amanda Puglisi with you as we get ready to start this game. Chaminade at 2-1. Coming off the 12-6 victory over St. Anthony's on Wednesday, coached by Jack Moran in his 38th season out of Levittown Division High School, 18-time Catholic League champs for Chaminade. And the starting lineup for the Flyers, their attack is led by Pat Cavanaugh, Regan Quinn, the UVA-bound senior, and Aiden Burns. The first-line midfield of Shane Gallagher, Matt Cummel, as well as Joe DeLira wearing that number 19, a very important number for Chaminade. And the close defense will be Kellen Paradine, Luke Packer, and Dom Doria. In goal, it's Andrew Bonafide, the Duke-bound junior. Ward Melville at 4-0, coming off a Long Island Championship season a year ago, coached by Jay Negus in his 4th season, a Ward Melville grad, played at UMass. The first-line attack of Grillo, Palinetti, and Lockhart. First-line midfield of Hobbs, Pryor, and Munoz. The close defense of Cerrone, Mazzone, and McKenna, and Perry Cassidy, the senior, has taken the reins from DJ Kellerman between the pipes for Ward Melville this year. It's going to be Mike Giaquinto to start it off with the face-off X for Ward Melville, and Alessio Giovanetti, the senior, who is committed to Colgate for Chaminade. Ground ball picked up by Dominic Pryor, and Pryor has it for the moment, then he's tied up, ball scooped up off the turf, and Ward Melville will retreat back to their own goal with possession, but then the ball gets thrown away, and Chaminade will have it 15 seconds in. It is a very windy day here in East Setauket, and aside from the pressure that Chaminade provided, the wind also playing into that. So here's Regan Quinn coming in from X. Quinn coming off a 3-goal day on Wednesday against St. Anthony's in that 12-6 victory. Leading scorer last year for this team with 29 goals and 21 assists. Good for 50 points. First shot of the game just going wide, and the Flyers will hold on to possession. Chaminade 2-1. They've won back-to-back games since dropping their season opener down at McDonough. Well, that's a way to kick off your season. No easy game there. One of the powerhouse teams down in Baltimore. Here's Quinn behind it, X, dodging, rolls to his right. Quinn being D'd up defensively by Matt Cerrone. Behind the cage, turning around, a pipe as it caroms all the way out to the far sideline, and it'll be Ward Melville possession. So the Patriots survive a couple of shots from Chaminade, but a hard ride from the Flyers. Patrick Cavanaugh giving all he can. High pass from Cassidy, looking for Pryor. Pryor, a little flick of his wrist, heaves it forward, and he will pick up the ground ball and move it into the offensive area. But his pass deflected. He's got to recover his ground ball, shovels ahead to the right side, and it'll be settled down by Eddie Munoz. Ward Melville having all sorts of trouble holding on to the ball in the opening minutes of this contest. Hard check, forces the ball loose from Joe DeLira's stick. Ward Melville recovers. Pryor ahead to the sophomore Hobbs. Zach Hobbs with some numbers to the right side. Again, a drop pass by Ward Melville, and Chaminade is moving the other way. Paradine will bring it up. A shot that was blocked in front by Pat O'Neill, who got his stick down right in the shooting alley to deflect that, and then Cassidy is able to recover. It looked like a crease violation as Burns had stepped in. 2 minutes and change gone by. No score between Ward Melville and Chaminade. Chaminade has had a couple of possessions. Ward Melville has had a couple of early turnovers on their home field. Zach Hobbs, the second-year starter, really emerged in this first line unit towards the end of the season last year. So for that playoff run that found Ward Melville in the state championship game, Hobbs, Pryor, and Munoz all return as first-line midfielders. First settled situation for Ward Melville after giving the ball up early on. Pryor looking down low, and another deflection. Ball bounces right off the stick of Palinetti, and Chaminade's got it. Long pass. The ball's just pinballing around all over the place in the early going. Ball picked up by Pryor. And now Chaminade's got it going the other way. Here's Kusnerick. Another ground ball, and Ward Melville will pick it up this time. Alex Mazzone, the junior. Well, Jay Nagus could not say enough good things about Alex Mazzone in his first year as a starter. Big guy out there. Here's Andrew McKenna, the pole over the midfield. McKenna, a senior, committed to Navy. He'll dump it off to Zach Hobbs. Now for Chaminade, one thing they've got to feel good about 4 minutes into this contest is that the sharpshooting first-line attack of Ward Melville has not really had a single touch yet. Grillo and Palinetti, those two guys combined for over 20 goals through 4 games so far. Munoz dodging down. Here's Andrew Lockhart, third member of that starting attack, 5 points today for the senior. Hobbs will dodge to his left. Hobbs' shot pulled way right into the far corner as Palinetti was there closest to it. The sophomore Palinetti this year, he's taken more of a leadership role, more assertive and aggressive, and here he goes, his team needing a good possession early on, tries to draw a penalty, nothing called. Good slide over by the Chaminade defense to really suffocate that and give Palinetti nowhere to go. Kevin Lynch, the short stick defensive midfielder, bringing the ball up. Chaminade will settle back into the attack. 5 minutes gone by in this first quarter, still looking for our first goal of the game between Chaminade and Ward Melville. Here's Regan Quinn settling it down. Quinn and Patrick Cavanaugh back behind the net. Cavanaugh, that great lacrosse lineage with his siblings. Matt, of course, playing at Chaminade and then on to Notre Dame. Brendan at Kellenberg, now a big key to Hofstra's undefeated season so far. Low shot, save, rebound up high, and it's collected by Chaminade. Here's Cavanaugh behind. Back up top it comes. Boy, nice job by Cassidy with the stick going down low. High shot again, whizzes over the head of Cassidy and out of bounds. Kavanaugh closest to it for Chaminade, just shy of the midway point of the first quarter. Quinn with 8 points in the early season. 6 goals, 2 assists, tries to shovel a shot past Cassidy, but it goes wide of the cage. Here's Aiden Burns, also with 8 points. All 3 starting attackmen for Chaminade, 8 points through the first 3 games. Here's Kummel, has the short stick on him, nice feed, straight away, pulled wide by Quinn. So Chaminade now throwing a good amount of rubber towards the cage, but not on cage. But probably their best possession of this game so far. Here's Burns back at X. Up top to the second line midfield now. Cutting on his run. Cutting shot low. Cassidy is there to make the save. Cutting the rebound. Goal line extended. Back up top to the left point. Here's Nicholas. They work it back around. Kummel on the roll dodge. Good job by Pryor defensively, giving him nowhere to go. And the Ward Melville crowd on hand recognizes the defensive effort by Dom Pryor. Right side, just shy of goal line, extended, pulling it wide again was Burns. Dropped the angle to go sidearm and just pulled it a little bit. Kavanaugh shuffling his feet as he brings it back in, eyes up. Goes to a knee, gets back up quickly. Kavanaugh's got the long pole of Cerrone on him. 1-4-1 offense across for the Flyers on this set. Kummel on the roll dodge. Pryor again feeding him right to the long stick. Up top, pass knocked down, and it's scooped up by Alex Mazzone of Ward Melville. Mazzone trying to end a very long defensive possession for the Patriots. Mazzone feeding ahead for Andrew McKenna, the long pole stepping it in. McKenna trying to move towards cage. McKenna double teamed. Some of the Ward Melville fans wanting a flag, none forthcoming, and the Patriots, for the moment, able to settle it down. 4:42 remaining in the first quarter in a scoreless game. Now Pryor looked like he was getting ready to go off, and now the second line midfield, or a mixed match of midfield, will come on for Ward Melville. It's Munoz along with Davenport. And Palinetti inverting up top. So good opportunity for Ward Melville to take a little air out of the ball, give their defense a little bit of rest as Palinetti lets one fly right on that mark. Play comes from the Ward Melville sideline. Again, a wayward pass, and that's going to be an over and back. So Ward Melville again turning it over. And Chaminade coming off a possession where, even though it was scoreless, they looked the most cohesive they have so far today. Up top for Joe DeLira, the senior, who's bound for the Naval Academy. Let's go into special operations. Christian Kuhn, another branch of the Armed Forces. He'll go to the Air Force Academy. Here's Wagan Quinn, goal line extended, tries to swim moves, and now he's got the stick to the left hand, bulls his way in. Cassidy got the chest protector on it, bounces up, he doesn't know where it is. It's to his left, and Ward Melville picks up the ground ball. Pat O'Neill had it, then checked away by Kavanaugh. That's one of the things that Jack Moran loves about this Chaminade attack. They love to ride and redefend. Reagan Quinn now driving, hits another pipe, second time today, and Chaminade still looking for their first goal. Liam Davenport brings it ahead for Ward Melville. Munoz lowers it, and a low save. First time today that Bonafide's been tested. And Chaminade quickly up ahead the other way. Numbers in an unsettled situation, but Kuhn decides to pull it out. We've played nearly 10 minutes in this one in a scoreless contest between the Patriots and Flyers here in East Setauket. And Chaminade, after a real good 3-4 minute stretch of a lot of activity, slowing it down for the moment and waiting for the right personnel to come on. Shane Gallagher back in, as is Delira. Delira's pass high. Kavanaugh had to leap for it. And Kavanaugh getting around the defense, turns, fires, scores! That one little hesitation on a lob pass, Kavanaugh had to go up for it, and his defender who was playing him was Matt Cerrone. Cerrone stuttered as Kavanaugh had to go up for that ball, and it left Kavanaugh, as quick-footed as he is, gave him an extra step. He knew what to do with it, turned and beat Cassidy for the first goal of the game and his 6th goal of the season. So that goal coming over 10 minutes in. Well, the first faceoff was won by Ward Melville, but they weren't able to hold on to the ball. They win the second one as well. Ground ball was scooped up by Mazzone. And again, a few times today, looks like Ward Melville will get a timeout off. Well, the officials today, Ed Hochter and Dermot Carey, they said with the win today, they were talking to Jay Negus before the game, they said, we don't care if you have to come out onto the field if you want a timeout. Make sure that we can hear you. And Jay Negus honored that there. He was screaming his head off to get that timeout with 1:31 to go in the first quarter. Rematch of these two teams from last year. The last meeting, a rainy day in Mineola at Chaminade. It was Ward Melville jumping out to an early start. And then Chaminade came back late, and it was a DJ Kellerman save with 3 seconds left to preserve the victory for Ward Melville. Minute 31 to go in the first quarter. 1-0 Chaminade leading off the goal by Pat Kavanaugh. Just a moment ago. Here's Munoz to the right side for Pryor. Pryor shooting, left-handed goal. Dom Pryor ties it up just seconds later. And an effective timeout for Jay Negus' club. It's the 7th goal of the season for Dominic Pryor. Had 4 goals, 2 assists earlier in the week against Northport, and that's the kind of performance Jay Negus says he is capable of. He said we'd love to get that sort of performance from him consistently. We'll have a whistle on the face-off. Chaminade will have it. Minute 13 to go in the first quarter, tied up at 1. We waited over 10 minutes for the first goal, and then the 2 goals coming just about 40 seconds apart. Matt Camille with it. They swing it back around to Kavanaugh to the near side. Now it's Burns. Burns' first year varsity. Chaminade is going to let some personnel come on. 43 seconds left. Gallagher back in. That first line midfield with Gallagher, Camille, and Delira. Here's Kavanaugh again shaking his defender off. Little scoop shot underneath, and it somehow beats Cassidy. Regan Quinn bounces one on an underhand shot. It caught Cassidy by surprise as Chaminade back on top 2-1. Not a lot of room for Regan Quinn to fire that one off. Nearly had his back to the cage. Just turned a little bit and again dropped the level all the way. And it bounced, took a high bounce and beat Cassidy. Face-off win for Ward Melville. Aviles looking right in front. Davenport trying to get his hands free, pushed in front, and we'll have a whistle. And a push, it'll be Ward Melville ball. They credit as a loose ball push, so it'll just be possession, no advantage. .12 on the game clock in the first quarter. Here's Chaminade trying to turn, quickly fires. Shot stopped by Bonafide. Heaved upfield with 4 seconds to go, picked up off the ground by Ward Melville. And a shot just getting off, but blocked as Matt Grillo somehow got that shot off. I don't know how they got the ball down the field that quickly, but it never got to Bonafide and Cage. So 3 goals scored in the final minute 51 of the first quarter, and it with 12 minutes in the books. Chaminade on top of Ward Melville, 2-1. Stay with us, second quarter coming up on News 12 Varsity.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team, because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Well, that last shot of the quarter by Grillo was blocked by Kellen Paradina. Got him in the back neck area, but he seems to be okay. He went right to the huddle. Rubbed it out a little bit, but it seemed much worse for the wear. And Chaminade has a 2-1 advantage as we begin the second quarter. Very helter-skelter type start for Ward Melville. They were throwing the ball all over the place, and they coughed it up on their first 4 or 5 possessions. To the face-off X we go. Giaquinto there for Ward Melville. Chaminade's got it. Here's Camille straight away to the right side now. Chaminade moving right to left, right in on the crease, and a deflection away. We'll have a whistle. And Chaminade will have it as Ward Melville got called for a push. Well, they were kind of caught in between. Tancredi, the long pole, was right on the crease. Too good of a positioning to pass up, but not the guy you want right there. Delira straight away up top. Good screen, but a moving one. Christian Kuhn will be called for the pick. Here's McKenna stepping over. Getting it to Hobbs, and McKenna will come up with him and then retreat. Pryor was the midfielder who stayed back. Team that defeated Connecticut 13-5. They were dominant in the Suffolk County Championship game last year, and then Syosset 9-5 in the Long Island Championship. Moving it across, ball deflected, but able to be recovered by Munoz. And then Munoz, he's squatting down. Looked like, I don't know if he turned his ankle or knee, but he is down in some discomfort right now as Jay Nagus out there, as are the trainers. Well, Munoz able to get up on his own power. So good sign for Ward Melville. Looked like he might have taken an inadvertent shot below the belt. Here's Palinetti on the dodge. Palinetti across the cage feeding. The ball dropped for the moment. And a flag comes out. We'll have our first penalty of the game. Look right on the crease behind the back shot. Going wide from Grillo. And Ward Melville will go man up for the first time today. Minute and a half into the second quarter. 1-minute penalty on a slash by Kellen Paradine. So again, first man up opportunity for either team today. And Munoz back out there already. Here's Grillo, now Palinetti. Chaminade defense pressuring out even though a man down. Munoz behind as Pryor inverting at X. Pryor looking right on the crease, ball getting all the way through. Was it tipped? No, it was not, and we'll have an over and back, so Chaminade will have it. Here's a chance, Tancredi stepping into one, unloads and scores! A man-down goal for Chaminade by the long pole Frankie Tancredi, and the Flyers go on top 3-1. Well, the turnovers in the first quarter did not come back to bite Ward Melville too much. That time, right on the restart, Chaminade had the opportunity. And they capitalized. Ward Melville taking their second timeout of the first half. Later this week, Monday afternoon, we'll have another Suffolk County League One showdown. It's the Battle of Smithtown. Smithtown East hosting Smithtown West, 3:30 on Monday afternoon, April 8th. And we'll have it for you live right here on News 12 Varsity. So Ward Melville taking their timeout, trying to get into an offensive rhythm. Pat O'Neill lost his stick. Tancredi wanting a foul. Well, they get a common foul, no penalty. Here's Frankie Tancredi, Harvard-bound senior. Tancredi lost his stick. Do we get a timeout before then? No. A failure to advance. Cassidy will lead McKenna on the outlet pass, overthrows him. And Ward Melville continues to have a tough day clearing the ball and getting into settled situation. I mean, you look at what Chaminade did against St. Anthony's on Wednesday, holding them to 6 goals, and the start to their defensive performance, and you see what they're doing through a quarter plus here. And their defense is going to start to turn some heads and make people notice around Long Island. And now Chaminade having a little trouble clearing the ball. Ward Melville turns him back over on a ride. Both defenses stepping up in the last few moments. Grillo will step it in. Here's Don Pryor to the right side. Senior bound for Hofstra. Zach Cobb's a Harvard commit, only as a sophomore already. Here's Hobbs with a short stick on him. Hobbs charging towards Cage, pulls it just wide. Bonafide got a piece of it, so the ball stays in play. A scrum to the far side. Chaminade coming away with possession. Luke Packer ahead of the pack. Packer with some great speed for the pull. And he'll dump it back down low. Aiden Burns will allow Chaminade to get into their offense. 2 of the 3 goals today for Chaminade coming from the attack. Pat Cavanaugh got it started, then Regan Quinn. And Frank Tancredi, the long pole midfielder, added another one when they were down a man. A first settled offensive series for Chaminade in a while. Impressed with Kavanaugh's speed and shiftiness early on. Kavanaugh's step, trying to feed up top. Caught right in the middle. Cassidy going down low for the stop. Here is McKenna with speed. He's got Pryor flanking him to his right. He gives it off to Pryor on the left side. Pryor will feed it across. The quick stick, not there. And Chaminade's got it. Well, Jack Purdy was there on the opposite side for that quick stick attempt, and he couldn't hammer it home. Regan Quinn scooping the ball off the turf. Quinn feeding across. Another opportunity. Good ball movement for Chaminade. And Sean Cutton buries it down low as the Flyers take a 4-1 lead. It started with Regan Quinn, but excellent ball movement from Burns to Cutton as they got it away quick, not more than 2 cradles each. Good help coming from the wing for Ward Melville, still trying to get the possession, and we'll have Ward Melville with possession. As Liam Davenport was tripped up. Davenport's got Tancredi on him. Chaminade midway through the second quarter, leading 4-1. Jay Nagus trying to find something working. He's mixing up the lines here. Munoz going over the top. Good dodge, one of the better scoring opportunities Ward Melville's had today. Just shot it up high. Isolate Munoz up top. That's the short stick matchup. Slide coming over to him. Munoz circling back to his left. Straight away, it's Palinetti with it. And Tancredi giving him nowhere to go. Here's the junior Liam Davenport, the focal point of the second unit for the midfield. Here is Davenport shooting on the run. A stop by Bonafide. Battle for the loose ball. Picked up by Chaminade. And then Doria turned it over. Ward Melville was looking to start quickly, but Bonafide was not settled. Palinetti ducking under a check, but Doria knocking it away right into the stick of Kemmel. Camille bringing it up. Here's Quinn with it. Quinn a goal today and a hockey assist on the last goal for Chaminade. And Quinn part of the Long Island Catholic basketball champion Flyer team. Here's Kuhn on the midfield. 4 minutes to go in the first half. A 4-1 Chaminade lead. And this pace definitely favoring the Flyers. Low scoring contest. Ball knocked away. Scooped up by Mazzone. Here comes Mazzone on his horse. Mazzone dumps it off, and Ward Melville thought they had numbers for a second, but they thought better of it. The second attack unit on. McGinley, LaRosa, and Purdy. Well, they mix it up. It's Purdy along with Carrillo and Palinetti. Oh, with Pryor, Munoz, and Hobbs, the first line midfield. So Purdy has stepped in place of Lockhart. Here's Hobbs, the short stick to Lira on him. Hobbs trying to get his hands free, pulls it just wide left. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Purdy, one of the senior presence on that second attack line. We haven't seen the full line out yet. Ward Melville's trying to find any offense really right now. Munoz back checked, still got the shot off, and Bonafide was right there. Chaminade pushing ahead. Here's Marinello, the junior, who's headed for Duke. Pat Cavanaugh again got the scoring started for Chaminade. 2:12 to go in the first half, and the Flyers leading 4-1. 4 different goal scorers. Cavanaugh, along with Quinn, Tancredi, and Cutton. Wind whipping up again on the backfields at Ward Melville High School. Chaminade slowing it down a little bit as time elapsing late in this second quarter. Quinn getting around his defender, goes low to high, top right corner, and not just goal number 2 today as the Flyers on top now 5-1. That is some marksmanship from Regan Quinn to come around there and hit upper right 90. Chaminade shutting out Ward Melville in the quarter. Tancredi, Cutton, and Quinn, the second quarter scoring for Chaminade. Face-off win by Ward Melville. Aviles on the run, kick save. Bonafide was ready for that one. .65 seconds left in the first half. Ward Melville would love to take one to the locker room and cut the deficit. Hobbs to the left side. Palinetti. Pryor's. I don't know if that was on goal or not, but Bonafide was there. Marinello to the near side, across. And Chaminade will take their timeout with 34 seconds left. Now Jack Moran, loving to get this matchup the last few seasons. Said he lives about a mile north of Ward Melville High School. So he's been very familiar with the program and loves the fact that they can play each other year in and year out now. We're familiar with Jay Nagus. And last year was a great game. 1-goal contest. This year, Chaminade jumping out to a 5-1 advantage and looking for more before the first half comes to a close. Chris Nicholas coming in. Haven't said his name too much today in the second line midfield. Nicholas, a junior committed to North Carolina. Here's Cutton. And they're on with Kusneric. 20 seconds left. Quinn again with it. Quinn cuts inside. Quinn moves inside. Cassidy with the stop. Being hounded by Kavanaugh. Cassidy will heave it downfield with 8 seconds left. High bounce. Purdy trying to fight for it. 3 seconds to go. 1 second, and time will run out on the first half. Well, if Purdy was able to get possession there, then he might have been able to get a quick shot off. But in the end, Chaminade plays enough defense to limit the opportunity. Chaminade shutting out Ward Melville in that second quarter, and they take a 5-1 lead to the second half. We'll be back second half coming up on News 12 Varsity.
It's the reason we keep watching, because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all, the face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Second half about to begin at Ward Melville High School. Chaminade leading Ward Melville by a score of 5-1. Reagan Quinn has 2 goals for the Flyers, and it was Pat Kavanaugh who got the scoring started. Minute 51 remaining in the first quarter. Since then, it's pretty much been all Flyers as they pick up the first face-off and the first ground ball of the second half. Story today has been the Chaminade defense and the way that they have turned Ward Melville over at times. And Bonafini's been big when needed as well. The first line midfield of Gallagher, Camille, and Delira on for Chaminade. Here's Pat Kavanaugh on the roll dodge. Kavanaugh trying to get his hands free. Back up top they come. Here's Gallagher. Now Camille. And we'll have a Ward on Camille. Patriots will have it back. This kind of day you want to be in the game for sure with the way the wind is whipping around. And again, Hobbs now not able to handle that pass. And the Patriots catch a break on a foul from Chaminade. Hobbs, Munoz, and Pryor, the first line midfield for Ward Melville. There's Lockhart back on. The sharpshooting attack of Ward Melville has been completely negated and shut down so far this afternoon. And Grillo and Palinetti with over 11 goals apiece. Here's Munoz. Low pass, Grillo able to recover. He's got the long pull on him. Grillo moving inside, shooting, and gets it by Bonafini. That one sneaks in. And Ward Melville strikes first in the second half. Boy, that was MLL type. He shot that as he was flying to the ground. He might have even been on the ground when it left his stick. For Ward Melville, the only thing that matters, though, is that went in. It trickled by Bonafini. And Grillo has his team-leading 13th goal of the game. Of the season, pardon me, not of the game. Pryor had the first beat on the ground ball. Ward Melville's got it. Chaminade continues to run on it, though. And it'll be Chaminade ball. Quinn now losing a handle on it, able to recover, though. Here's Nicholas on the dodge, back up top for Cutton. Kusnerik. Now it's Kavanaugh back at X. Quinn shooting on the run, top shelf. The hat trick for Reagan Quinn, and Chaminade gets that goal back. They lead 6-2. And nothing too complicated about that one. Finding Quinn in the right spot. He had plenty of time and space to shoot. And he went up top. Ward Melville face-off win. Get it quickly to the right side for Krillo. Pulled it just wide. Here's Davenport. You have Davenport, a guy they really like to insert when they're looking for a little bit more pace. Palinetti back up top, Munoz straight away. Connor McGinley in as well, body going down. Munoz going down again for the second time this afternoon. Gets back up quickly though. Here's Palinetti. Palinetti looking right on the crease, unable to hold on to it. Back up top, it comes for Palinetti, dumping it down low, and it sneaks through and in. Bonafide got screened. He didn't see the ball that was intended for a pass on the crease, but Palinetti will take the goal. His 12th of the season. Bonafide's got to be frustrated with himself, saying, what is with these soft goals in the third quarter here? Face-off win this time for Chaminade. Giovanetti able to win it, get it down low. Flyers had a ball deflected out of bounds as they were looking for Burns. Kavanaugh off a screen. Kavanaugh looking right in front, little shovel shot, not much behind it. Cassidy was there. Pryor picked it up, had it checked out of his stick. McKenna's got it now for Ward Melville. One-handed grab by Pryor, he pirouettes to midfield. Here comes Pryor beating his man low. Bonafide with the step. Long outlet pass ahead, back the other way. Here's Aiden Burns around his defender. Burns pulling it wide. Quinn closest to it in that far corner. End-to-end action the last couple minutes. As we're 5 minutes into the third quarter and Chaminade doubling up Ward Melville at 6-3. Camille. Here's Delira now with it straight away. Back for Burns at X, towing the crease. Burns, quick dump off down low, and didn't have much of an angle on it. As Kavanaugh beating off Cerrone in a foot race. Roll dot for Quinn. Quinn trying to back his way down. Cassidy was ready, stopped it at 5-hole. Wind really whipping up. There's Camille, ran the first line midfield at times last year. Camille, a tight angle again. Cassidy there, behind the back attempt for Kavanaugh. Blocked in front and out of bounds. Chaminade will retain possession. Man, you see the shades of his older brothers. A little short in stature, but explosive and dynamic as a playmaker. Quinn feeding up top, straight alley dodge, shot from Joe DeLira. Kept feeding it down low, and that finally freed up some of the midfield. And DeLira was able to step into a shot. Chaminade lead now to 4, matching their largest of the afternoon at 7-3. Just past the midway point of the third quarter, we'll have a loose ball and push on Giovanetti. Liam Davenport stepping into the box. Here's Connor McKinley, senior lefty finisher. It's been a while since Ward Melville had possession, so they're slowing it down a little bit. Palinetti. Munoz looking in for a cutter, hand Carrillo right on it, but Carrillo couldn't hold on. Pass was a little behind him. And then Chaminade closes out the possession with a ground ball from Packer. Andrew Bonafide, his older brother Sam, was face-off man for Princeton. All-Ivy honorable mention last year. But he's had a fantastic day and a really nice start to his season as well. As Andrew Bonafide in the cage for Chaminade. There's Nicholas on a dodge, feeds back up top straight away. Good ball movement for the midfield now. Quick decisions. Cutton cuts it back. Cutton lost the ball. Good individual one-on-one defense for Ward Melville. And Alex Mazzone showing why Jay Negus is so high on him. Nice cross-field pass. Pat O'Neill, the long pole midfielder, able to get it away. O'Neill and Dylan Palinetti, two sophomores this year who were key cogs as freshmen last year in a Long Island Championship run for the Patriots. Here's Eddie Munoz, this midfield still trying to get into an offensive rhythm. They've really been denied a lot of that today. Munoz getting his hands free, shooting just high. Tremendous alley, but he's missed the cage up top a couple of times this afternoon. Here's Grillo has a goal today, coming earlier in the quarter. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Munoz getting by his man again. Munoz feeding right on the crease, left-handed shot, bouncing high over the cage, out of bounds. Backing up was Purdy. was Liam Davenport making Connor McGinley right on the crease. Here's Grillo. Grillo might have gotten a slash to the head, no call. Tancredi comes out on Davenport. Pryor got mowed down by Tancredi. .205 remaining in the third quarter, a 7-3 Chaminade advantage. Here's Palinetti. Pryor. Man, Melville's got to be saying, what do we got to do to get a penalty here? And then Jay Nagus sees Ward Melville commit a penalty. So Chaminade's going to go a man up after, from where we're sitting, we heard the plastic clang pretty clearly on what could have been a slash to the head, but that is not the call. And Chaminade will be man up. Macrillo on the redefend getting called for the penalty. Minute 34 remaining in the third quarter. Chaminade a 7-3 advantage. And a man up as well. Quinn spotting up top. Now it's Kavanaugh. Quinn directing traffic as Kavanaugh comes up to the right side. Quinn back near side. Goal line extended. Kusneric back to Quinn, right in the soft spot of the zone. Worm burner of a shot. Cassidy blocks it away. Pryor's got it. Under a minute to go in the third. Pryor lowers the shoulder, hits the turf, and a flag is thrown. And Pryor and Kavanaugh exchanging some words. And it looks like Regan Quinn is going to go off on the penalty. I'll see what the official word is. So an unnecessary roughness penalty. There will be 52 seconds remaining in the quarter on a minute penalty. Ward Melville 0 for 1 on the man advantage. In fact, they gave up a goal on that opportunity. Munoz getting double teamed. As we're 5-on-5 for a few seconds, and now 6-on-5 with 32 seconds to go. Hobbs has it straight away. Now Munoz with 20 seconds. Grillo, his pass deflected right into the stick of a Chaminade defender. Bonafide out of cage. Tancredi's got it with 7 seconds. Tancredi will heave it down the field. And sort of a miscue for Chaminade and Tancredi, because now, with the possession, there's no face-off. Ward Melville will have it to start the fourth quarter. And a few seconds of an advantage left. But Chaminade holding on to their 4-goal advantage. A 7-3 lead for the Flyers as we head to the fourth.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team. Because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Chaminade a 4-goal lead as we head to the fourth quarter. 7-3, the Flyers on top. No face-off to begin the fourth quarter because Tancredi heaved it down the field and Cassidy was there. Well, how about Kavanaugh on the ride? Kavanaugh jarring the ball loose from Pryor. Pryor got a little shove off ball. Nothing called. Mentioned a moment ago that those two were exchanging some words. Well, Kavanaugh not the tallest, little spark plug. Much like his older brother, Matt. Here's Cutton. Shooting it on the run wide. Kusnarik, the left-handed shooter. Notre Dame commit. I mean, that's the thing about some of these programs on Long Island. You look up and down the rosters and where some guys are committed to play collegiately. There's a ton of talent on both teams. Nicholas. To the left side, going down low was Quinn. Dropped the angle, tried to go low to high, but missed it wide. Here's Nicholas. Chaminade, no real sense of urgency to start the fourth quarter. Over 2 minutes already on the possession. Roll Dodge not looking really to shoot. Here's Quinn on the shot, got somebody in the backside. McKenna limping away after it. Ball still loose. Out of the scrum, it's McKenna to come away with it for Ward Melville. He'll dump it off for Cassidy. And Cassidy, with Regan on him, able to get it away to McKenna. Here's Alex Mazzone stepping it in. Well, Ward Melville's got to get some scoring done. They're down by 4 goals. 9 minutes left in the game. And they've not really been able to initiate much offense from their midfield today. Wait for the right personnel. Liam Davenport in. Davenport on with Palinetti. As well as Munoz. Grillo. Purdy. That second line attack. Palinetti moving it up to midfield on the offensive series here. Here's McGinley. Double team sliding over to him. Grillo. Grillo. Now to Palinetti, rings one off the pipe. Back up top, it comes from Munoz. Munoz lost his footing, able to recover. Munoz around the defender. Munoz moving inside, going down low, stop, but draws a penalty. It'll be a 30-second advantage on a push with possession. Well, one thing that Jay Nagus was concerned about when he looked over at the Chaminade side is the size of their poles, the defense and the height that they have, and guys like Paradine and Packer and Doria and Marinello. And that has borne to fruition so far today. Guys like Grillo that are giving up some size, hard for them to get much interior pressure. Same for Munoz. Hobbs moving it around. Palinetti thought about it, ends up dishing it off to Pryor. Back to the right side for Hobbs. Straight away, it's Munoz. Penalties released, dumping it off down low. Shot and a score for Lockhart. Lockhart, a nifty roll. And that gets the scoring started in the fourth with 7:10 to go. It'll be an even strength goal, but it comes just after the penalty was released. Was not fully back to 6-on-6 yet. And now a huge face-off for Aviles. He had a clean look at it, unable to pick up the ground ball, and now he does. And Aviles goes down, but do we get a timeout first, or do we have a push? So a 30-second penalty. I didn't see the flag down, but it will be a push against Alessio Giovanetti. So right after scoring a goal, just after the penalty expired a moment ago, Ward Melville goes back to the man advantage, down by 3. But first, we'll have a timeout taken by Chaminade. And last year, it was Ward Melville who had jumped out to what looked like a comfortable lead, and Chaminade just slowly chipped it away over the course of the game. And it ended up being DJ Kellerman having to make a last-second save for Ward Melville to escape with a 1-goal lead on a 1-goal win at that point in the year. Well, Scott Craig in attendance from West Islip doing a little early season scouting. Right now, he's seeing one of his league mates, Ward Melville, trying to come back against Chaminade. Man up out of the timeout. Munoz to Hobbs, hit just as he released the shot, and it skied on him a little bit. Munoz back up top. Hobbs again. Lockhart, who had the goal a moment ago. Palinetti, penalty released. Pryor has it at X. Back to 6-on-6. Three-goal lead for Chaminade. They've led by as many as 4 twice today. Here is Grillo. Grillo hit as he got the pass off, able to get it. Here's Hobbs going down low. Kick save by Bonafide. Back up top to Munoz, though. That one must have stung. Here's Palinetti, lost his footing. Palinetti, as he did lose his footing, slid out from underneath him and right onto the crease. So a crease violation and a turnover by the Patriots. Come away empty-handed out of the man-up chance. Here's Dom Doria, the Cornell-bound senior, now Bonafide with it. We'll get another timeout. Chaminade takes the second timeout today. Well, Andrew Bonafide coming into this one, 39 saves on the season, 13 saves per game through 3 games in his first year starting. Jack Moran and I were talking this week about how the goalie position has really had to change in the game of lacrosse as the game has continued to develop, continued to evolve, and continued to become more offensive. Whereas a decade ago, if a goalie had, 8 to 10 saves, it was considered a pretty good afternoon. Now, regularly, you need your goalie to make 13, 15 saves to kind of keep you in a game. And Bonafide has done just that. As on the other side, Perry Cassidy, despite giving up the 7 goals today, he's really looked good at times. A gaggle of 4 white jerseys converge on Sean Cutton. Somehow, he's able to get through them with the ball. Big clear for Chaminade as we're beyond the midway point of the 4th quarter. And the Flyers on the first possession of this quarter really let some air out of the ball. There was no stall warning issued by the officials. And they might wait till they get to that point again. Here's Cutton, though, getting ready to fire, does so off the post. That's the 3rd time today that Chaminade has hit a pipe. Ball caromed all the way out to the opposite side of the field. Here's Palinetti. And Purdy picked up the ground ball. Ward Melville will use their timeout. 4:32 to go. And Jay Nagus knows his team's got to get something going offensively, and soon. 4.5 to play out of the timeout. Munoz with it for Ward Melville. Munoz stumping it for Pryor, and Pryor unable to hold on to it. Tancredi in track of the loose ball. And that has been the story for much of today, but now Quinn unable to hold it. Quinn trying to argue that Ward Melville was last to touch, but it was pretty clear that it bounced off the top of Regan Quinn's stick hit. McKenna able to keep it in front of him on a bounce. And now he finds Hobbs. And McKenna will go off so Munoz can shuttle back on. 3:42 to go in regulation. Chaminade leading 7-4. They have not trailed in this game. Pryor on the dodge. Pryor moving right inside. Turnaround shot, no good. And Bonafide clamps down on it. Jack Purdy couldn't get much behind that. Ferro to advance, picked up quickly. Palinetti going, and Palinetti tried to go to the other side. And I don't know, he didn't get a shot off. I don't know what was going on. That thing came out of his stick like he was trying to pass it behind him. A long delayed penalty. It's going to be offsetting penalties. I don't know about that. Because Palinetti came over and checked Dom Doria. And a little late, but you probably could have let it go. Doria had a very clear check to Palinetti when Palinetti did not have the ball. I mean, there have been some tempers at times today. Those two, the latest. You also had Pryor and Kavanaugh exchanging words and bumping at times. So we'll get 5-on-5 here. 2.5 to go. Here's Cutton, now Quinn with it. Quinn, back-to-back hat tricks. One today, one against St. Anthony's on Wednesday. Changing hands, low shot. Cassidy going down low again. He's been so strong on those bounce shots today. Chaminade now has to keep it in the box. Inside 2 minutes to play. A 7-4 advantage. Good defensive effort by Pat O'Neill to create a turnover. Ward Melville running out of time, though. Cassidy able to get it over to McKenna. McKenna had it lost for a moment, recovers. McKenna checked right inside, and the rebound to Grillo, who goes behind the back and scores. They're going to wave off the goal. I guess Ward Melville had called a timeout just before the shot. So the highlight goal will be nothing more than a piece of tape for Grillo. I mean, situationally, Jay Negus did exactly the right thing. His long pole was in trouble, down low. You got to save the possession with 1.5 minutes to go and down by 3. Matt Grillo was looking for his second of the game. He had 3 yesterday against Riverhead. Coming in, stepping into the starting attack after his brother Chris was a starter last year. Led the team in points. Older sister Samantha played at Quinnipiac also. So there's had to be some good backyard lacrosse games between the 3 of them. Hobbs. Now Munoz top shelf and scores. So a 9-second difference from when the timeout was called to when the goal was scored. Munoz makes it a 2-goal contest. They've scored both goals in the 4th quarter in a huge face-off. Giovanetti out there for Chaminade. Aviles for Ward Melville. Tancredi the ground ball for the Flyers. Tancredi switching hands as he crosses over midfield. Into the box he goes. 1:09 to go, and they've got to keep it in. Tancredi getting around Pryor. Tancredi right in front, shoots wide. Kavanaugh right there. Under a minute to go now. Ward Melville's got to force this one loose. Kavanaugh, double team, comes to him for the moment. And Ward Melville's got it. 46 seconds to go, down by 2. Bounce it over to McKenna. He's got Kavanaugh whacking away at him. Here's Hobbs over the midfield. Hobbs moving in, 34 seconds left. Hobbs across to Grillo. Grillo trying to dance inside, and his shot went wide. Picked up for a moment by Chaminade. Thrown back in as they try and keep the ball in play. Knocked out of bounds. Ward Melville has it with 19 seconds left to go. A player down for the Flyers, though. And that looks like Tangretti. Frank Tangretti with a glove over his face mask and reaching towards a knee. Well, some of the guys on both teams come over to Tangretti as he walks off. A good sign for Chaminade that he's walking off. With only 19 seconds left, though, I don't think he will return to this one. Pryor and Hobbs from the Ward Melville side went over to check on him as he came off. And lost in all that, it's still a 2-goal game. Ward Melville thinking there's still a possibility. Here's Pryor shooting on a bounce, and it bounces high over the cage. 12 seconds left. Here's Grillo switching hands. Grillo firing quickly, and it was deflected beforehand. Now just 4 seconds left. And with that, the fans largely get up from their seats. Here's Hobbs, and that's how the game will end. Chaminade comes out east and hands Ward Melville their first loss of the season, returning the favor from last year. A 7-5 victory for the Flyers today. On Wednesday, they held St. Anthony's to 6, today 5, against a Ward Melville offense that had been averaging 12 goals coming in. So 7-5 the final today. Chaminade improves to 3-1 on the season, dropping Ward Melville to 4-1. We'll be back in a moment on News 12 Varsity.
It's the reason we keep watching, because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all. The face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Chaminade improving to 3-1 on the season as they shut down Ward Melville today 7-5. Now joined by Frankie Tangretti, part of the defensive unit for Chaminade that limited Ward Melville today. And Frankie, 6 goals on Wednesday against St. Anthony's, 5 today. What is it about this defense that's been clicking and limiting the opposing offenses? I
think we're all just playing together. We're really communicating well together. And our main goal is just to pressure the offense, make them play fast, and then they can play. And I think we've been accomplishing that so far this year. And
it seemed like you guys set the tempo early on. There was that stretch to start the game where Ward Melville just kept throwing the ball away. It seemed when you, as a defense, see that, what do you guys start talking about? What's your mentality when you see a team's having trouble holding on to the ball?
We just know we got to keep playing their hands, get on them early, and if just pick up those ground balls, hard ground ball. That's going to give our offense extra possessions, and we're going to win the game that way.
And Bonafide behind you, it's probably a nice feeling as a defender to know that there's a guy in cage who can make those kind of athletic stops like he made today also.
Yes, Bonafide is an amazing goalie. He keeps us all together, he's talking, he could just make unbelievable saves.
Another goal for you, this time man down today. What did you see as you were coming up the field on that quick restart?
I saw an open lane in the middle and I just filled it.
All right, congratulations on the win today.
All right, thank you.
Chaminade improving to 3-1. They've won 3 consecutive games after dropping their season opener down in Maryland at McDonough. Today it's 7-5 as they hand Ward Melville their first loss of the year. That'll do it for us, for everybody involved in our broadcast. For our producer Tom Schnars, I'm Matt Shorter saying so long. We'll catch you next time on News 12 Varsity.